All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have a special presentation we got for you guys. Of course, patch 3.6, Calamity's Corruption, is officially out in Heroes of Newerth right now, and boy, oh boy, what a big, big patch it was. Just in time for the holidays. A lot of changes. Not only that, of course, a new hero in Calamity, speaking of Calamity's Corruption, but a lot of balance changes. And, you know, we figure what better way to get some opinions from the scene than, you know, ask some pro players out there. And for this segment here, I'm joined by the one and only Zlapped here of eSports. Zlapped, how's it going?
Doing great. It was a great patch and a lot of good things that we in Sync have been looking forward to, and it's fun to see some heroes getting buffed. A lot of buffs, for that matter.
Yeah, and you know, you and several other players in the competitive scene, you actually are kind of a behind the scenes in the sense of giving your input before these changes happen. So, you know, did you in a sense have a little bit of an impact at least with this patch? Would you say? I
think it's safe to say that at least half of these have been highly impacted by a lot of competitive players. In Casey has been mostly involved in most of these, I think. Most of these, right, I would say.
All right, but overall, you're definitely happy with the way the patch turned out?
Definitely. Not a lot of complaints at all.
Good, good. All right, with that said, so how this works again, we got a couple of likes here, a dislike, and then a chance to maybe even talk about what you'd also still like to see. But let's kick it off. We got your first like that I wanted to bring up here. Midas getting, you know, in a sense, kind of a little bit of a rework, not really a full rework by any means, but every single ability basically getting a little bit of a change. Again, there's a lot on the screen right there. You guys can read it, but basically all of its abilities, somewhat of a cooldown reduction, and then the transmute was slightly changed to give him more attack damage presence for that 3 seconds after it procs. It will still stun, of course, on top of that. So, Midas, though, not a hero we see too often, speaking of competitive play, but you like this change here, Zlapped. Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's long overdue. I don't actually remember. Like, Midas used to be played quite a bit, if you remember, like, what was it, 1.5, 2 years ago? But he was a little bit too, like, over the top, a little bit too strong. I think his heal was a little bit stronger than it was now, and the damage output was very, very high. But I don't remember the exact changes. But point being that he got nerfed a little bit and fell off the scene. It was hard to fit him anywhere. Because of his low range, it's obviously a niche hero, and it's hard to, like, fit him on top of a good lineup. But I'm definitely looking forward to see him getting play now. I actually haven't tested these changes myself yet, but the attack damage, for example, obviously makes it a little bit easier for him to last it in the start. The armor is a good increase, and then what the most important thing is all the changes to his abilities, not only lowering the cooldowns to allow him to do them more often, and then also, of course, the projectile speed and range, but then the fact that he can deal extra damage when they're, as I understand it, when they're golden, right?
Yeah, when the transmuted procs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, definitely some interesting changes. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they work out.
Yeah, 120 attack damage per auto attack for the next 3 seconds when he pops a transmute on somebody. So that's obviously hefty amount. You know, maybe get even a little bit of attack speed on him. You could add at least 2 or 3 even attacks in there.
Yeah, I would say that you would at least get 2 attacks off with the regular Steam Boot build. I would say that you could get 1 or 2. Well, 2, I would say, which is a decent amount, which means like an 80 damage increase to level 6, of course. Well, 4, I guess. Because you can skill ulti at level 4. So, yeah, interesting changes, and I would love to see him get some playtime. We actually played him 2 weeks ago before the buffs, and did very well with him. So, I guess we'll see what if and, well, I can't really say much. I don't want to give
away any strategies.
I don't want to give away any strategies here, so I'm just going to say that it's interesting changes. I'm looking forward to playing it myself, of course, in TMM, and, yeah. A good change.
All right, so see the Jungle Midas coming to you one of these days.
I would love to make that happen, but that one's going to be a little bit too far.
A little too tricky, maybe. All right, so now speaking of a dislike, this was really only the one, according to you, that you could really find that you maybe weren't a huge fan of. Grinex, actually, now his agility gain increased from 1.8 to 2.0. So, you know, kind of a slight number tweak, but you're not a fan of this.
I don't feel like it's going to have any impact whatsoever. I feel like after the nerfs, the hero completely fell off and is, well, it's just way below the power level he was before, and I feel like this change doesn't impact the hero at all, and I feel like he could have at least gotten something else. I'm not sure what, because I don't play Grinex, obviously, but it's just not going to have an impact on the hero. Like, we're not going to see him suicide again just because he got 0.2 agility gain per level. It's not happening. So I feel like the change was more of a visibility change that was just there to have an extra hero, and I'm not a fan of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see if more is put into that in a future patch. But yeah, this
it does say you're keeping a close eye on him, so
yeah,
we'll see if he gets anything in the future.
Wouldn't put it past that. So, all right, back to a good one here. We got Warbeast on your good list. A hero that you play once or twice. Summon Hellhounds and mana cost decrease as well as Metamorphosis decrease. So you like this?
Of course. Like I'm pretty much actually, what you got with Jungle's Warbeast as well, right? I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, well, us two are pretty much the only two players who jungles Warbeast competitively, and whenever Aiden gives it to me in the jungle, I always I'm happy. And now you're heavily buffing it, so I don't have to buy as many mana pots. So that's awesome for me. I don't get to play him in jungle very often, of course. Casey plays most of it, but definitely think it's a good change, and it was to allow him to jungle more easily. So yeah, it's cool. It also, with the lower mana cost on the ultimate, of course, you're able to gank very often. Like the way I currently play him when I jungle is that I always keep an extra 1 or 2 mana pots because you need it. After you spawn wolves and ulti, your mana pool is kind of empty. But with this change, you might actually have like an extra pair of wolf. You might have buy 1 mana pot less in the start of the game, which is a really good change in my opinion, and will allow him to jungle more easily, as the tweak was meant to do.
Wasn't it almost a good downside, though, that his abilities costed a good chunk of mana?
Yes, it is. But since I'm biased towards this hero, I like it a lot.
All right.
But from another standpoint, I feel like his jungling was already good. But it didn't need a nerf or buff. But this is not going to make him OP.
Okay.
It's just going to give him a little bit of a higher mana pool and allow you to spend your gold more effectively. So.
Makes sense.
Well, yeah.
Biased opinions here. No.
Towards Warbeast. It's one of my favorite heroes and has been for a very long time. So seeing something like that is always fun, since most people don't jungle him.
Yeah. So, all right. So there's the Warbeast one. Now another here on the list. And actually, I was excited to see that you were a fan of this, and I was excited to see this myself. A hero that I love to play personally. So Demented Shaman. This isn't about me though. It's about you here. Armor increased by 0.5, as well as the Entangle getting a slight changes. Now slows for 2 seconds at all levels. And now the stun, slightly reworked. Instead of the 0.011, it's now 0.51, 1.5. So you can actually get that, the little bit of a stun at the early levels now, with that half second even. So you like this change, though? Why is that?
Well, first of all, because I found it to be stupid that if you wanted to get a stun on Disham, you had to get your Entangle at level 5 in order to get the third point, which I found to be a little your Disham. You obviously want to max out your nuke/heal, which is both a defensive and offensive ability, and the fact that you had to skill that extra point in Q kind of ruined the way you wanted to intended to play the hero. And I feel like this more balances the way you want to play him, and now you can actually just drop it at 2 points to be able to cancel TPs. Because you want that stun to cancel TPs and cancel channels. It's not the duration of the stun, it's the little mini stun that makes the difference. So I really like it because of the fact that now I can drop 2 points in it, then continuously max out the heal, and then maybe get the cape early at 1 point, and then start with the Entangle at the last second. Now we can drop 2 points in it to get this early mini stun, and I feel like that's going to have a big impact to him. And then the armor, of course, will be necessary when he boxes out heroes, but I feel like the hero already was really good at the boxing out, so that's a change that I don't really have any comment on. It's obviously a very minor armor increase, but everything minor is a little bit bigger than you expect it to be. Yeah. So the armor change is fine. The slow is obviously cool, and then the mini stun is going to be awesome. I feel like that's going to balance the way you want to level Disham up. So yeah, good change. Really liked it.
All right, so there you go with that. Now, as far as anything else that maybe with this patch overall, or what you'd also even like to see in the future, any comments on that here, Zlapped?
Yeah, the Gravekeeper one actually. I suggested this a very long time ago, and because I feel like the hero is incredibly strong, 1v1, but then you don't have an ultimate. You use your ulti and you're waiting. Incredible, it's not a pyro ulti. You can't burst and instantly kill someone just like that, in front of a million heroes. You can only kill someone at level 6 if there's not a million creeps around, because you want the zombies to hit a hero. And if you use that with the 140, it's just such a long time to wait until the next ulti, and I feel like this ulti change and the cooldown rescale is really good, and will allow him to possibly see some actual play, because the only negative side of that hero was the fact that his ulti cooldown was way too long. It was absurd, to say the least. So A change I suggested and finally seen this client. I actually had a little bit more insane numbers than those, but
okay,
those are good numbers to see.
Happy medium, you could say.
Yeah, happy medium.
Yeah.
I said we met halfway.
just to be or clarify, even it was used to be 140 seconds at level 6. Now it's down to 100 seconds at level 6, and 100 at level 2 down to 85. And level 3 is actually slightly increased by 10 seconds. But yeah, it was the earlier levels that was the.
That's good because that's one of the things I said that 60 was way too short. So that 10 extra is good. I think it's a well balanced ulti now, and have no complaints about that hero anymore at all.
All right. Well, that pretty much starts to wrap it up then. So thank you once again, Zlapped, for giving your opinions here on patch 3.6. And you think things are going to be changing up perhaps the next cycle as a result of all this?
I would love to comment on that, but I can't confirm nor deny anything.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So thank you once again, Zlapped. Appreciate it as always. And
thank you for having me on.
Definitely. So with that said, guys, got to wrap it up for this segment here. But like I'm doing this with sitting down with several pro players from the competitive scene. So be sure to check out the other ones if you have not. Again, patch 3.6 is out just in time for the holidays. Check it out, guys. Calamity's Corruption coming at you. Hopefully you're enjoying it.